As an avid and a dedicated Fortnite lore fan, I usually spend hours per day looking online at YouTube comments, Reddit posts, Twitter pages, just whatever it is, trying to figure out what's going on in the game. Sometimes, given the nature of the videos, which is on a daily basis, we run out of things to talk about because we simply cover almost everything. No worries though, we do have one of the most interesting theories on the channel in a while coming up later in this video. Looking ahead to the future, both in this season and next season, we've got a number of confirmed collaborations that are expected to be happening, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, Indiana Jones, Doomslayer, Family Guy, Fall Guys, and even Among Us. Yeah, trust me, I know, pretty sussy. Among Us is definitely the type of game that deserves to have a collaboration. It was supposed to happen a while ago, actually. Let me know in the comments which one of these collabs you are looking forward to the most. In the Week 8 Resistance quest logs, the Imagined declares a temporary victory for the Seven, and that's even emphasized by this news screen that pops up when you go into the game to view the quests. This says the Imagined Order has been forced to retreat, investigate their next move before it's too late. Is this implying that it's going to get to the point where it's too late? And what does temporary mean anyway? I mean, I don't really understand that. I mean, they forced a temporary retreat, but if the IO is doing this whole thing where they're luring them into Loot Lake with the Doomsday device and potentially the mech and the caddis and all that stuff that we've talked about that I'm sure you're familiar with, it's not really a victory, is it? As I was scouring the internet for interesting theories for today's video, I stumbled across this lovely post from user Lego Penguin 114, who states very boldly, "My theory is that the Imagined is a clone of the Order. Most obviously, they both share the same face model, but that's to be expected out of two characters called the Sisters. However, I was slightly surprised to notice that their eyes were also the exact same color. Coincidence? Probably, but that's not able to stop my harebrained ideas. Sometimes sisters or twins or even identical twins will have, the same color hair, the same color eyes, whatever that runs in the family. It doesn't always have to be that way, but a lot of the times it is." In her newest quest line, this week's Resistance quests, Imagined states that she can't remember anything before becoming one of the Seven. I'm guessing that this might be because she could have been cloned very recently and thus would not technically have a life outside of them yet. According to Jones, the IO wiped out all information on the Sisters after the loopers were able to get him to the IO's files. They're obviously trying to hide something, and they seem to know the Imagine's been snooping around in their files as well. Finally, her name is the Imagined, which implies not real, maybe as in not biological. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'll tell you this, it would make a lot of sense considering her name is the Imagined. You look at the Foundation. Not only is he the Rock, but he's also the leader of the Seven. The Scientist and the Visitor are pretty self-explanatory. We're still working on the exact meaning of a couple of these other characters, but if this worked out for the Imagined, it would make a lot of sense. As you can see, there is a very, very similar aesthetic there between the two characters, and everything pretty much lining up. Remember, the Imagined has made no reference whatsoever, even a teeny tiny bit, about her sister. I feel like we go and talk about the mech and the caddis a lot lately, and for good reason. There have been a lot of leaks and a lot of suggestions that we're going to get around to of that battle, and I still really do think that is going to be the case, at least at some point down the road. Recently, I've been thinking a lot more about that event, watching the replay, trying to see if there's anything that maybe we didn't catch, etc., etc. One thing I did think about is the name of the event, which is the Final Showdown. If there is a round 2, then it definitely was not the Final Showdown, and I wonder if that is intentional or not. Is it possible that way back when Singularity, aka Paradigm, totally did not intend to come back? Maybe when Paradigm won and drove that mech out of here, she was intending to be gone for good because she didn't want to face the Seven for betraying them technically by using the 0 point to defeat the Caddis instead of actually protecting it. During the Final Showdown back in Season 9 of Chapter 1, of course, one of the most integral parts of that event, and the reason why really she was able to win, Singularity that is, against the Caddis, is because of the statue of Singularity that was in Neo tilted. On the outside, it looks just like a statue, but once you pull it out, and once the robot actually did pull it out during the event, a giant sword is revealed underneath, and of course that same sword was used to stab the Caddis straight through the head, of course giving Singularity the win. If there were to be a round 2 in a similar situation, there is in fact a statue of one of the members of the Seven, just like in Season 9, only this time instead of being Paradigm, it turns out to be the Foundation, except it's not like the full foundation. The statue has been broken in half. Is it possible that the IO may have done this on purpose in an attempt to prevent whatever potential weapon could be below that statue from being effective against the caddis later on in the future? We don't know if there's a sword or any weapon underneath the statue of the foundation, but if I were the IO, I wouldn't want to take any chances, you know what I mean? Like, because you literally saw the caddis lose in the last one via the sword from a statue. Oh yeah, it also looks like Ballers, the vehicle from Chapter 1, are going to be making a return at some point soon. I remember the Ballers, man, they were so fun. They were so annoying in certain situations, especially in competitive tournaments and, like high lobbies or whatever. But the reason I even bring this up, though, is because you can see, according to the Fortnite wiki, the Baller was vaulted with patch 10.0, making them currently only available in Playground and Creative. So let's get this right. Update 10.0, aka the first update of Season X, was when Ballers were vaulted, which means the last time Ballers were in the game was Chapter 1, Season 9. Yet another reference to the very same season in which the mech and the caddis dueled it out. No matter what happens or what we do or where we look, it always seems like we are coming back to this same brick wall, which is the reunification of the caddis and the mech in yet another battle. You already know I'm going to be spending hours and hours looking at everything I can in-game, on Reddit, on the internet, wherever to try and figure this out. Make sure you guys are keeping it here. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning back in. Make sure to subscribe if this is your first time. Drop a like on this thing as well, and click on to the next video to keep the party rolling and to check out some more videos. Peace.